All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome to ClearTalk. So in this video, we're going to be talking about the things going over in the Middle East, the update that you were supposed to get on the live stream but didn't. So yeah, we're going to talk about that. So again, thank you for joining me. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Check out my other channels if you would, right here, and like, subscribe, and all that good stuff on those as well. I've got some pretty good stuff on there, I think. And then the Discord's there, one-time donations, or you can do the JMD Nation Patreon for $3 a month. So check that out. Thank you very much for any help you give. It's much appreciated, and love you. All right, so um, yes, what's going over on in the Middle East? Okay, so uh, yesterday, um, we had some pretty big events, or rather, the night before. Uh, had some pretty big events where Iran decided to do a strike. They shot off 180 hypersonic ballistic missiles towards Israel, aiming for military installations. From my understanding, there was a lot of video come out. There was some residential or business damage done. Nobody was killed as far as those particular strikes. There was, or at least that's what's being reported. There was one Palestinian killed in the West Bank from debris falling, from what I understand, from a missile being shot down. You know, the missiles shot from Israel to hit. Um, this, from what I understand, a lot of the reporting seems to be being censored a bit in Israel. They come out saying that they're, acting like it was a fail, that, like there was nothing happened, that their strategy did not work or whatnot. Whatever Iran was trying to do, they didn't accomplish. But arguably, that is probably a lie. There was the majority of the 180 seemed to have been taken care of by the between the three defensive shields that Israel has. Your Iron Dome is the main one that's known. It pretty much, for the most part, is set to handle short range stuff that Hezbollah and Hamas shoots, is coming at them pretty quickly and short ranged. They have two other systems. The Dave Slinger system, which handles more like the long range stuff, and then there's an Arrow system as well that also handles long range stuff. So between those three, along with U.S. intervention on at least 24 that the U.S. shot from their carriers to interject and take out missiles, majority of them were taken out between these systems. But there were some that did make contact. There was damage made on some of the military bases that they actually did target. And from what I understand, some of the business or residential damage that was taken was from blasts, where once it hit, it blasts out, and damage was taken from like side blasts on from those strikes. So, in my opinion, it did accomplish something. It was not a complete fail. Maybe it didn't hit every installation they were aiming for, but it did hit some. So it was not a complete fail. This was in retaliation for the direct strike that Israel made in Iran earlier, along with the acts that they have been doing into Hezbollah. The strikes there, the assassinations, taking out Hezbollah's main leader the Friday before. And also the fact that Israel had started their actual progression over the border. This was Iran's full on. They've been saying that they were going to eventually retaliate in some kind of way. And I think, from what I understand, some of the IGRC members or whatever finally was able to influence the new prime minister or whatever, or president, whatever he is, to actually make the attack, because he was pushing back. He was, trying not to escalate. He didn't want to, but I think they finally pressured him to be like, look, we've got to do something, even if it's something, just to kind of say, hey, look, stop it, chill out, okay? We will hit you. If you remember back in April, this was the second attack. Back in April, they made a first attack. That one was well in discussed with the U.S. and it was planned out. It was just a kind of a stunt to some degree, where they shot. We all knew it was happening. We all knew it was coming. We took care of it. I don't think it actually even made contact to the ground. And that one was about 110 ballistic missiles then, along with some smaller missiles. Most of them were like old missiles that didn't really do much contact. This was the first time that Israel has ever seen or felt hypersonic missiles. As a matter of fact, none of those defense systems are technically designed to take out hypersonic missiles. So they do not have hypersonic disruptors. And matter of fact, Iran says that they actually, some of their missiles did in fact impact and take out some of the aero defense systems that Israel has. Now, that I'm sure has not been validated at this point, or Israel certainly probably wouldn't admit to it. But yeah, that's some of the word. Israel immediately come out afterwards saying that they were going to retaliate, and it was possibly even as soon as last night, although that did not happen. So we'll wait to see tonight whether or not they make some sort of attempt. They did make some more attacks today in Lebanon, in Beirut, which has been practically almost every day they've been dropping something in Beirut. They apparently did make before that attack happened, they had actually crossed the border and making their way through about 20 to 23 roughly, like villages and stuff on the border, trying to go through, for one, getting people to leave, and then secondly, like trying to take down defenses and stuff in those particular villages. Hezbollah claims that they did come in some like attacks in one particular town or village, and supposedly killed like 2 or 3 soldiers and injured around 10 to 12. I don't think Israel accepts or claims that, but that's something that Hezbollah said. I think I don't know that that is actually like agreed on or admitted by Israel, and that they pushed them out like of that area. But Israel appears to have some sort of positioning over the border as of earlier this morning, where they are sitting, camp set up and whatnot. And even though it's just supposed to be a limited operation, there are some reports that they were basically saying that they were there for and going to be there for a while. which is the same rhetoric that they did when going into Gaza. They, there was supposed to be a limited thing. There's, just going here and there, and then and eventually it wound up being this whole big thing that has lasted for months, and they've little by little taken over or hit every section part of Gaza, and the story. So yeah, same rhetoric that they've been doing in Gaza, they've turned around and done Lebanon, and they're talking about doing in Iran. There's been talk of them attempting to hit nuclear sites and oil sites in Iran, trying to cripple. That would be a infrastructure type of crippling to affect them. I guess we'll wait to see on that. And of course, there's been talk also of regime change in Iran. That's like some apparent goal of some of Netanyahu's cabinet. Not necessarily Netanyahu, although I would not be surprised because that's ultimately his goal altogether, is to completely eradicate Iran and all of its so-called proxies, so that they can feel protected and have no threat on Israel. Because, Israel's the one that's threatened when they've got all these defense systems. Rarely does a rocket ever actually make land or hit, at least from the so-called proxies. But yeah, so that's what's going on. So we're basically in waiting now for the war to continue. Biden administration come out basically okay with it, saying that they backed them in their incursion over the border. They come out completely against the attack from Iran, and that Iran would pay, basically. So to any degree that this will de-escalate, I have no confidence in. So the whole plan of de-escalating by escalating, it's crazy. It doesn't seem to be working. I don't know what to think anymore. This is just getting out of hand. And the administration, the Biden administration, from reports I've seen and my understanding, is that it's very split. There are some within the Defense Department and other sections that are not in agreement. They do not and have suggested not to allow this to happen, not allow Israel to or not give them the green light. But then there are other parts of the Biden administration, and apparently even some members of the defense system, that are hung go on it, and in full support. And Biden, although he acts and talks like he's upset about it, I think he's really just upset that he didn't know about it, but whatever. Because these acts have been done without them even knowing until afterwards. But yeah, he doesn't seem to have a problem with it. Now, to the extent Kamala and what she thinks, I think right now she has come out with a statement saying that she fully backs the operations going on, and that she understands the threat of Iran and will back Israel and all this stuff. The same kind of stuff you hear from Biden and the whole administration. It's getting harder and harder to feel like she isn't in agreement, even though previously she has seemed to have not been in agreement. But I don't, again, I don't know if this is solely her just trying to go keep along. Like I said, the VP has to support, and she's not president yet. She hasn't won the election. But I'm having less and less hope that she actually would make a change. Which is making it harder and harder for me to actually hang on to my vote for her too, if I'm being quite honest. In Mississippi, it doesn't really matter. I could vote for my damn self and it ain't gonna matter. It ain't gonna change things. Because Mississippi's pretty much gonna go to Trump no matter what I do. So I could very well just put in a ceasefire, whatever vote, in protest. And I might just do that. But I completely understand in areas that you feel is, more battleground area, more, you actually do make a difference. Your vote could very well make a difference, to decide, even if it's reluctantly, if this is an issue for you. I can understand it though. I completely understand it. I was willing to, like I said, I'm even willing to consider it if I were to feel somewhat of confidence that she actually could make a change. But I'm feeling a little less and less like it, unless she just straight up comes out against it, and which I wish she would. I wish she would decide to come out like in complete defiance. Uh, it could be respectfully, that just, respectfully, they are going to make their decisions, but I don't agree with it. She could even say she can't do anything about it. That probably would be the best thing. Because, technically she can't. But, anyways, yes, it's not looking good. Things are getting heated. It's getting very hot over there. And I'm afraid it's going to continue and only get hotter. Iran said that if Israel retaliates, they will hit back, with strength and ruin. So, I don't know. It's not looking good. Anyways, thank you very much for joining me. That's your update. I thought maybe some more stuff would really happen today, or I didn't. I'm glad it didn't, but like I thought, because of the way things were reporting, we were going to have some other serious stuff to talk about, but who knows what tomorrow brings us. Anyways, thank you for joining me again. Peace. ClearTalk. I'm out.